Hi folks, very good morning, welcome along. Happy days, I can't see you yet, they're looking at me.
Good morning. Morning.
Good morning, Lynn and Lisa. It's like Thelma and Louise, look at that.
Oh, there's no cliff here though, it's fine.
Davey, nice to see you. Daniel, nice to see you as well. Hello.
Morning, guys.
Morning. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm sat in the garage, so my camera's off.
Okay, no worries at all. Nice for you to be here. Hi, Lynn, Pamela. Welcome.
Morning.
People coming along. So we'll give a few minutes. So welcome along to our first ever online masterclass of 2026. Team Quest are here. I am Jamie. So you're not going to hear too much of myself. I'm just introducing today's session. And I'm going to hand over to Laura and to Ashley in a second's time. So we are going to record today's session, so if you're not comfortable with that, then you can keep the camera off. But we are going to ask you to engage as much as you possibly can because there's a bit of learning today. So if you can engage and use the chat function, raise hands, then it's going to be very interactive, and that way we get the most out of today's session. Does that sound like a plan? Yeah? Grand. Okay, so without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass over to Laura and Ashley, and here we go.
Morning.
Morning.
Nice
you're all well.
Yeah, nice to see you all. So we're going to take you through a wee bit of a whistle-stop tour today of our planning and delivering training sessions to groups, which used to be affectionately known as Train the Trainer, which fell off the tongue much easier. It's a level 6 qualification, Scotland qualification, and it takes people with loads of experience, but also people who have never done any training through a really immersive, interactive experience. 2 days in the classroom with us, learning everything from how to write lessons right through to how to deliver and all our top tips and skills and strategies that we can give you. And then it asks you to come back the following week to deliver a 30-minute interactive session of your own. And today we're just going to be a little flavour of what that looks like. So let's just show you on the slides behind. You'll be able to see the stepping stones to getting your qualification. You can just slide to
your laptop.
Thank you. Perfect. So 3 days of training, like I said, and then you come back, and we've been doing this. Well, I've been doing this qualification with Laura now for about 12 years, I think. We've never had anyone come back day 3 and not be buzzing. Nervous, but nerves are great. It's about caring, it's about passion. And then delivering really powerful sessions. So we just finished one of our qualifications last week, and we had everything from resuscianis in the room doing first aid. We had HR legislations being really made to be exciting and accessible. Whole host of things that you can be coming back and delivering day 3. There's a little bit of written work. So we look at, in its widest sense, how you make your training environment filled with equality and inclusiveness so that everybody feels welcome. And we'll give you really great top skills for whether that is in-house training, which can sometimes be more intimidating than when it's a bunch of strangers, or whether it's external people. After you've done day 3, we ask you to do a little bit of blogging. So it's about just reflecting, like, wow, I managed that. Look at all those amazing skills that I've unpacked and learned. Look at what I've achieved today. You get some peer evaluations in that moment. So what did everyone else think about your practice? What are all the bits that they loved? And then I sit normally at the back of the room typing furiously our observation form. And all that evidence, the practical in-class stuff and your written stuff, makes up this really, really nationally recognised, well-accredited qualification. So we're going to start today, just like we would start if we're in the room, and we're going to start, probably unsurprising for you that go on training courses, with an icebreaker. So what I want you to do is head over to chat. I say the word icebreaker. What's that first word that comes into your head? I wonder if we've got a few ideas coming in.
We've got communicate, oh no, pickaxe, awkward, introduction, oh dear, inclusive game to open up rapport building. Very succinct, Mr. Mackenzie. Fear.
Nice.
Ah! Come on, anybody else? Be brave. Scary. Courage. Love that, Simona. Hello, Simona. Nice to see you.
Some great words coming in there. I think for us, there's some really simple quick fixes for that. So at Quest, we don't talk about icebreakers. We talk about energizers or activities. I like the idea that it's an energizer. It's something that's meant to bring a positive energy into the room. So for me, it's about picking the right energizer for your audience. And we'll speak a lot about how you get to know your audience before they even walk in the room when you come on our course. So we're going to start with a couple of energizers. So I don't know where you all are this morning. I did hear somebody's in their garage. Some people might be in office. You might be at home. I'm going to ask you to get to your feet if you're able to do so. Create a wee bit of space around about you. I think Laura's going to come and join me for this. So we're just going to make sure that we don't hit each other. So way back when, I think some of you that may know me, I was a teacher in my last life. I used to get pretty sluggish primary fours coming in, but sleepy after the weekend. And Brain Gym was a great initiative that was brought in to just bring that, get that whole brain thinking and bring a bit of energy back into the room. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand.
Get up. Come on, get up. I'm watching you all.
And all we're going to do is gently pinch the edge of our nose. And then we're going to take our left hand, cross it over, grab your earlobe. Nice and simple. But all we're going to do after that, when you're ready, is I'm going to ask you to swap. And then swap back. Try not to poke yourself in the eye or anyone that you're sitting next to, ladies.
Love it.
Bit of Brain Gym.
Love it.
Some people can, it's a bit like the rubbing your tummy and patting your head.
Some people struggle around here, I'm watching.
Yeah.
There's some other people struggling.
See you go faster.
So a bit of Brain Gym. So some of you may have heard about left brain, right brain thinking, all that synapse down the middle, but we need to get that firing. So Brain Gym's a great way. If we cross that midline, we're getting whole brain thinking. So let's do another one. Let's stick our hands out and turn the hands out to the side. So we're in an aeroplane, and all we do is nice big stretches, 2 circles forward. That's quite nice for a Tuesday morning.
Good, actually.
And back the way. Now here it comes, because without overthinking this, all we're going to do in a minute is we're going to do one way and one the other. Are we ready? Woo! Anybody taking off? And then can we do it the other?
Oh.
And then back the same way. And then one of one, one of the other. Bit of Brain Gym. Well done. How was that?
Simon's doing a really good job there. Davy McKenzie's in the top floor at the Wellgate, and there must be his colleagues around going, what on earth are you doing?
So, as with any activity you do when you're training, as the trainer, we're modelling it. So you get up there, you do it with confidence. Well done for everyone that came with us on that. So, energizers can be really wide and really varied. You'll learn a whole toolkit of them when you come on our training course. Some of us deliver in person. We deliver our training courses in person, but we also deliver the training course online so that we can reach, obviously, people far and wide and who maybe don't have the chance to come and visit us in-house. And when we're doing that, we'll look at digital resources. So what I'm going to take you to today is an online platform that we use, free to access at the point of use, which has some great energizers that we can crack on with. And we'll pick on some of you today and see if you can answer for us. Will I access that from here?
Yeah. No, stop sharing that. You got in there, yeah.
So this is a site called WordWall. As I say, I signed up for free as a user. We'll reference some of the other digital platforms that we use throughout the training. You'll also get sent away with a big list of them, which is great for building into your training session. This resource was not made by me. This is already there. So I'm a great believer when you're being really creative and making great sessions is working smarter and not harder. Let's use the resources that are there. So we've got the WordWall. As I say, this would normally be used as a digital tool. So up on your screen, it's maybe a bit easier to see. Today, I'm going to spin the wheel, not a bottle. And then I'm going to pick on some people and see if they're happy answering the questions. I might do this with a room of people later on in the day when I've got to know them a little bit better and I'm trying to get them to unpack a bit more. So here's a dead easy one. What's your name? I'm not even going to waste my time. I'm going to move on. Hold on. If you didn't know that one, then that's a bad start to Tuesday. Oh, look!
Well, it does show you can't fix it.
Oh, you don't get much more extreme than that. So there we go. If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be? I wonder. Anyone feeling brave? Please feel free to shout out. If not, head over to the chat and Jamie will shout out on your behalf.
You can use the chat, or if you're brave, unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. So we've got in the chat potato, pineapple, broccoli, carrot, tomato. Oh, there's a right mix.
Nice. I'm just going to pick on someone. I'd love to be a pineapple. That's a great one. I've probably got the hair for it when I tie it up on top of my head. Why? Who's going to be a pineapple? Can you tell us why?
It's Alcide Sheik. So Omar, unmute yourself, let us know why. That'd be lovely. Anybody else? We've also got carrot, broccoli, beetroot.
Oh, beetroot. I need to know that. Who's a beetroot?
Pamela's, because she's out in the garden. Mushroom,
Nice.
a couple of mushrooms, cauliflower. Good. Anybody want to elaborate why you chose those vegetables?
I'm happy to tell you why I would be a mushroom after being a tomato originally.
Go for it, Angela.
Because when I saw mushroom, I was like, oh yeah, definitely be a mushroom. Because it's worldwide, it knows everything, it's into every place. It's like it's got this web of connection around the whole world, and it communicates with trees, and it's like sacred, the sacred mushroom. So yeah, mushroom it is. That's what I'll be. From now on, if anybody ever asks me that question, I'm going to be a mushroom.
I love that. 10 out of 10 for explanation. Fabulous. Well, our short of time today, so I'm not going to spend too long. But what I wanted just to share with you is that we will kick off with Energizers in our programme. They are something that can really be used to bring interest, excitement. They can be used to enhance your session. They can be tied to your learning. You can imagine this word wheel being filled with questions that are really going to move forward whatever your training is about. And we cover a whole basket of them. I speak a lot about the toolkit. We've got some brilliant skills in those toolkit. We've got some rusty skills and tools at the bottom, and we're always looking at ways of planting new ones in at the top. So thank you for kicking off with us this morning. I'm going to hand over to Laura now, and Laura's going to talk about all the skills and qualities and attributes of what an excellent trainer looks like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everyone. So for this, we're going to do another activity, and Jamie's going to split you into some small groups. And what I'd like you to do is, you might need a paper and pen. When you get into your groups, one person could take all the feedback, or you can each have a drawing or whatever. So what I'd like you to do is think about the best trainer that you've ever seen or you've been, and what are those qualities and skills of that best trainer. And what I'm going to ask you to do is draw a trainer. So this is one of the things that's really good about encouraging sort of creativity and just a different way for your learners to do things. So rather than list, we get flip charts, we list things. What we do is we ask you to draw, much more creative, get a bit of colour in the room, and just even that sort of engagement for any audience. It's just a really nice way to get people to participate. So we're going to put you into breakout rooms. We're going to give you 6 minutes. And in your small breakout rooms, we'd like you to come up with qualities or skills of a trainer. And what we would also like you to do, think about not just when they're delivering, but the before. So what happens before the trainer gets in the room and delivers the session that they're actually delivering. So Jamie, are you just going to randomly put people into groups?
Breakout rooms. You'll be in groups of 4, and you don't touch anything, and we'll bring you back automatically after 6 minutes. Okay, so the rooms are opening now.
Good luck.
Feel free to press join room. Away you go. Hi Megan, I'm going to put you into a room. We're just doing a wee drawing exercise so people can explain to you when you come in. So I'll add you to room number 2. Welcome back, folks. We're waiting, everybody else coming back. Very prompt, well done. Okay, welcome back. All of you will be back soon, so yeah, 10 seconds or so, then we'll have everybody back, then we'll get the cameras back on. Well done for being so prompt. Okay, everybody should be coming. Well done. Welcome back.
So everyone back? Welcome back. How did you all get on? Hopefully you got on fine. So what we're going to ask you to do is for each group to maybe, if someone's drawn the best qualities of a trainer, to hold it up so Jamie can read out some of the answers, or you can just tell us. We'll just go through each group, and each group gives us a couple of qualities of a good trainer. So, and just to demonstrate another method, so you've drawn the trainer, but what we do as well in the classroom is we'll use something like colourful cards and shapes, and we ask people to write a quality on each of the shapes. So you could do that for qualities of a carer, qualities of a sports coach, and it's just, again, it's a very visual, the brain loves colour, and that sort of spatial awareness. So it's just another way of like giving the results back. So should we get some things on the board, Jamie?
Yeah, well, I think Lynn and Lisa were keen to show there, so they're in room number 3. So we'll pin you and let you see what you've got.
You see it? I think that's quite impressive.
Yeah, really good.
I don't know if you can see some of the words. Do you see some of the words?
Yeah, creator, the language, yeah, love it.
So we've kind of got a lot of different words, and we chatted with Omar, who is actually not from this country. So it was about language and accurate information that was able to support people with language barriers, and potentially keeping some information quite brief, but to the point. Things like energy, motivation, keeping the session engaged. Be passionate actually about what you're talking about. It could be about the bonus thing, but kind of try and keep that passion for that. And a little bit of confidence and real life engagement. Creative, knowledge, organised. There we go.
Fantastic, thank you so much. Let's hear from, well done, that's really good. Ashley's just about filled the board now, so let's have another group.
Who else?
Just give us a couple if you can.
Yeah. Room 1 or 2 or 3. Anybody want to go?
I'll put ours up. This is not very good at all. I don't know if you can see that. Can you? No.
Sorry.
It's a bit out. Oh God, I don't even know. No, this is so good. Yeah, you can't really see it, but essentially what I've drawn it is an iceberg. It's not as nice as the iceberg that I can see on the front here, with Yogi Bear standing on the side. It doesn't make any sense at the moment, but essentially, like iceberg, we were thinking that it's all sort of preparation that comes beforehand. Somebody that's super prepared, someone that's got all the information that you need, but you don't actually, when you're presenting that, everybody doesn't see all the work that's gone in to make sure the presentation works. So everything's below the surface and you just see the top part. Yogi Bear was part of when we were talking about the instructor should be nice and calm. Yogi Bear himself wasn't nice and calm. He was smarter than the average bear, but we're looking at a yoga instructor was somebody that's nice and calm and just relaxed. And as we sort of said, Yogi, Yogi Bear came into it, so I stuck Yogi Bear, even though he's not.
Fantastic.
He's a bear, and he's somebody that's funny, engaging, thinks on his feet, that sort of thing, as well as prepared. So that was a rough idea of what we're trying to do.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. So I think we've got one space left on our board here for one more. So let's have one more idea.
Yep, so that was our group. Can I just get it out the road now? I feel incredibly disappointed I've not drawn a picture I have multiple post-its and I was a scriber for the team. So listen, I'll take this as inspiration later and I will muse a character out of that. So what we put just outside of what's already been mentioned, good knowledge and understanding, a bit of empathy so we can relate and kind of know where to kind of press on the learning points. Communication kind of been touched on as well, but more info sharing, the prior, during and after in terms of the communication.
Okay.
Check environments was a good one. So in terms of where your presenting space is, so
Yep.
breakout spaces, is it learner friendly? Have you got an adequate space for kind of presenting the information? Have you got a screen for videos? Because pictures and videos do 1,000 words type of thing. And I think overall, if you make it fun, learning kind of environment, then it makes it more memorable. And if there is a fun daft game in there, it gives you associative memory to the course as well. So yeah, just creating that space.
Wow, that is super. Thank you so much for that. So you can see our new trainer now. It's not Yogi Bear, unfortunately, but actually done quite a good job there. We could probably put feet to hat, a couple of hands on there with the number of ideas that came out there. So fantastic. So during the train the trainer, what we do is we do a sort of review of what does best trainer look like, but then we have a look more deeply in there. So we'll ask the individuals on the course to come up and spot a couple of things that they would like to improve on and really work on the course. So we just use some little stickers, and then we say a couple of things that you are really good at. So it's thinking about your strengths, where we can improve, and for us as the trainers, for Ashley and I, what that gives us is a real focus on the areas to concentrate on during the training as well. And it's quite a reflective activity, so it's just a bit deeper than just, oh, let's have a bit of fun and put a picture on the wall. We're actually going a wee bit further than that. So that's a taster of using drawing. We call this pinpoint cards, so colourful cards, and also just your creativity, group work, etc. as we go. So I'm going to hand back to Ashley, and we're going to look at the learner now. Okay, Ashley.
Thanks, Laura. Well done. Well done. That was a great job, guys. So as part of the course, we will look at you, and I think that's really powerful when you think about all the skills that are up there. We've spoken about the toolkit. What do we need to develop so that we are really, really powerful in that room? The flip side of that is the learners come. Sometimes you might know who's coming. Sometimes you don't until they walk through the door. So we'll focus on how can you get to know your learner. Once they're all in front of you, we'll really push the importance of buying time as the trainer to observe your room. So who's looking comfortable, who's settling into it, is there someone who's disruptive? How do we manage all that behaviour? The learners come to you with their own backgrounds and experiences, and one of the things that we really press the importance of understanding that learners learn in lots of different ways. It's one of the most commonly commented on aspects of our training is how mind-blowing that is when you're really delving into the word of training, is to understand that every learner is learning differently. And as the trainer, how do you meet all those individual needs? So we teach you a couple of theories, and Laura's going to help me today write up a couple of theorists that we work with, who I will try and not call them Mumford and Sons or burst into song. So Honey and Mumford commissioned a piece of study on learner styles, and they came up with 4 different learning styles. I'm just going to pop up a wee slide as well. So those are the 4 different learning styles that Honey and Mumford identified. We're today just going to go and focus on one. So I'm going to give you a whistle-stop tour of the 4, and then I'll focus in on one of them for you. So Laura's put up there the activist. So probably the most self-explanatory. For those who know me and met me, that's me. It's like, I'll do it, I'm here, I'll dance, I'll sing. I don't mind why we're doing what we're doing, as long as we're engaged and we're having fun and it's full of energy and I'm up off my seat and I'm getting my hands onto it. So you'll know them. If you've trained before, they're easy to spot. So activists. We've also got the pragmatist. So the pragmatist likes the activity, but they take it that step further. They want to trial it. They need to know, what does that mean for me, in my context, in my industry? How am I going to put this into practice? So they'll want to take that learning and then trial it out. We've then got the theorists. So the theorists love the Honey and Mumford stuff. They want to know the why. Where does that come from? Is she telling me the truth? Why? Show me. Let me go and read about it. Let me go and explore that. And then we have the reflector. And today I'm going to just do a little bit with you on how you spot a reflector in your room, because they can be quite off-putting. And then what do you do about that as a trainer? So I'm wondering, if you think about, you might be a reflector. If you had a reflector in your room, can you head over to chat or shout out, what might they be doing or what might they look like?
So that's you up here, actually. And that's me down here.
Oh my God.
Davey's saying deep in thought, borderline not paying attention.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Quiet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quite quiet. Taking it all in. Taking notes.
Yeah.
All those things. These are great. So the reflector, one of the points that was said there, they can feel like they're not with you. Maybe even go as far to say they look disinterested. And as a trainer, it's so off-putting. So what I do in my head, anytime anyone looks like that, I just think, oh look, there's my reflector in the room. They're not bored, they're not disinterested, they're just reflecting. The challenge for us as a really great trainer is we can't just dismiss that individual. We have to then think about our design. And Laura's going to speak to you a wee bit about that in a minute. When we're designing our session, how do we give an opportunity for all these learning styles to be addressed? So if we think about our reflector, there's some really good practical ways that we can help them and support them to feel comfortable. So if you're doing a training session where you've maybe got pre-reading or some signposting, could be to a website, could be to a link, something that reflector can go and get genned up on before they come into your room, so they already come in with a little bit of prior knowledge, and how they've managed to settle how they think about that content can be really useful. When we're doing the sessions, a bit like the wee breakout activity we had there, a reflector likes that discussion so that they can really explore the topic, get their own head around it, hear what other people are thinking, maybe just sitting back and having a little bit of thinking time during that activity. One of the things that we can feel quite uncomfortable with as a trainer is silence. Can feel a wee bit uncomfortable, can't it? It's like, gosh, has Ashley forgotten what she was away to say there, or what's going on? So the reflector, however, loves your silence. They loves when I shut up. As an activist, I'm probably in their face a bit too much. So for a reflector, it's like, let's buy in that silence. Let's say to everyone, do you know what? That was a really big piece of information I've just given you there. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes. Stop and think about it. And just hold that space for them. And silence is something that we explore really powerfully throughout our training to be able to be put to good use. So there we go, learning styles, a whistle-stop tour. I'm going to pass you now back over to Laura, and she's going to talk you a wee bit through how we design our session.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks, Ashley. And I've populated Ashley and I on this chart as activist reflector, but I'm also over here as a pragmatist. Ashley, where are you? Are you a pragmatist or a theorist?
I probably do reflect.
Yeah. But are you like theorist or
No,
pragmatist?
definitely over the pragmatist side, yeah.
So here's our team, our Quest team. We have not got a theorist in this team, which is maybe why we just do that quite quickly. But when you are a trainer, so Honey and Mumford did this about learning styles, but they also did a trainer styles questionnaire. And actually what they found was, so I might be a reflective learner, but as a trainer, I actually become more of a theorist because I won't train without knowing the theory and the reasons why. So they found that a lot of trainers have got a learning style, but actually their training style, their delivery style brings in a bit more theory, because you have to, because you're going to have theorists, as Ashley said, you're going to have theorists in your room that want the theory. So so it's really interesting actually. So anyway, on to learning design. So when I was wee, well, no, I'm still wee, a long time ago when I was young, I went to London and got a job as a trainee training officer with Freeman's Catalogue. And I was pretty, well, I was brand new to training. I thought, my first training session, I thought, why am I doing it? My knees were knocking, my face was bright red, and I was like, oh, crikey, what am I doing? But anyway, they invested a lot of support in me to allow me to develop as a trainer. And what they did was they sent me on a 5-day course on how to design training, not even deliver. That was just the design part. And I went away with a course that I was given, which was discipline and grievance, and I was asked to redesign this course. So I went away with my kit, which was, in those days, a long time ago, it was a bag of overhead projector slides, which were acetates, and the previous trainer had 108 of those for the discipline and grievance course. So I went up to London with my little bag here, and first thing they said was, get rid of that, you don't need it. So the whole design process was around, don't start with the slides, start with what's the purpose of the training, what do you want the learners to be doing when they're in the room, is it to achieve a qualification, is it to get information, and actually your design starts there. So 5 days later when I left, I had 9 slides and I didn't have any other slides. So that whole, like, the way of training that was delivered and I learnt was in 1989, and I have never veered from that learning that I did then. So what we teach on the course is that process, and there's a bit of a sort of a moment in it where, for me, it was like the complete game changer. So that's the process there. So you start with your aims and objectives, so purpose, what you want the learners to do, and then the game changer was you think about the methods of delivery. So, you know, I think it was Simon was saying you want it to be fun, you want it to be interactive. So what you're doing is, before you get to slides or anything, you're thinking about what methods could I use to make that training interactive. So that could be writing on a flip chart, it could be a poll, it could be moving around the room, it could be lots and lots of different methods, and we cover that during Train the Trainer all the time, pretty much. The whole day, whole 2 days is about different methods of training. And if you get a bank of those in your bag, then when you come to design, and we've got up here creative, there you are. So that's your skill to design the learning, and the learning then becomes an interactive and engaging solution really for your learners. So we cover this whole process on the course. A whole half a day of the 2 days is about design, and the feedback from people that have come along is really great. It gives them a structure, gives them a sort of plan. If you're in an organisation, it gives you shared plans that you can all be using. Just to let you see, Ashley and I have got a plan for today, so we do have trainers' notes, so we are actually not doing it off the cuff. We've prepared it and we've planned the session. So we sort of go through the process, and you will end up with a learning plan that then you can deliver and take forward after the programme as well. So that's our designer session. Day 2 is all about delivery. So practicing, you don't even know you're practicing at some point. So you're actually up there delivering things, but you don't realise that you're doing it. So that's all about day 2. And then day 3, you come back for your assessment. So quick question for you. What is the attention span of an adult? So I think there's a couple of people who have been on this course before, might know the answer to this. So put in the chat, is it, I've got a choice there, 12 minutes, 22 minutes, 32 minutes, 42 minutes, 60 or 60 plus? Let's pop some in the chat, what's your thoughts?
Nicola saying 10, Omar saying 42, Kerry saying 22, Lynn 22, got a couple of 12s, 12, 32, 22.
Very good, very good. I suppose it depends on the adult, eh? What the attention span is.
Simon says 12, probably says more about me.
Yeah. So a study was done, and its average is 22 minutes. So The other thing we bring into the lesson plan design is you're trying to break up your training into chunks so you don't go over that sort of 22 or 25 minutes. If it's not 22, you're not too bad. You know, it's just that sort of guide that when you're designing training, you're making it interactive. You're thinking about the different learning styles and the different methods that you can design to deliver that training onwards. Okay, so that was a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the design. So I'm going to do a poll now, is that? Yeah. So Jamie's going to put up a wee poll for you. Just to get your feedback really on what are the training issues for you. I think the question's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how confident do you feel delivering training, and what would improve that? Actually move the slide on.
Yeah.
What challenges have you faced when delivering or planning training, and how could you improve your training skills? Benefit your team or organisation? So multiple choice, 1, 2 or 3. 1's kind of not at all, 2's kind of, 3 very. And don't worry, there's no judgment here, there's no right or wrong, good or bad. It's just your feelings on this. Good. Just waiting on a few people to finish off. A quick 1, 2 or 3. And we'll look at responses. Don't worry, your response won't be highlighted.
We're done?
Yep,
Yeah, thank you for that.
Great. So one of the other things Laura was talking about there was day 2. So day 2 is all about delivery. And we quite often get people that come in day 1 and all people can think about is, what am I going to do on day 3? I feel nervous about day 3. I don't know what I'm going to deliver on day 3. So we worked really hard with you to make sure that you realise that's all part of the journey. I've never had, Laura's ever had anyone not manage to stand up and deliver really successfully on day 3. We set you up to succeed. One of the really powerful things that happens in the room, it's never a large group, there's never more than about 7 people perhaps on the courses. So certainly day 3 there would never be more than that. Everyone has your back, so the kind of camaraderie that's built over those first 2 days is really, really powerful. However, we acknowledge that people get nervous. We were nervous kicking off this morning. You know, we want to make sure that we spend your hour of your time that you've kindly come along for is well used, it's put to good use. So nerves can be overwhelming, but for me, they're about the fact that you care, that you're passionate. But we do embrace them, and we think, you know, what do nerves look like? And we do quite a good fun activity with that. And then we sort of take that one step further and think, well, which of those things that happen to your body when you're feeling nervous are in your control? Can we make a fix for it? Can't make them maybe disappear, but we can come up with some solutions. And then we're left with a tiny list of things that are maybe not in your control. And some of the groups came up with some great stuff about that planning and preparation. Sometimes you can tackle it through that. And then what we do is we do a little bit of an activity around breathing and the power of breathing just to reset and ground us. So we thought we might finish this session just before we do some Q&A today, not with some crazy brain gym, but with some deeply relaxing breath work. So if you are in your office, I think I've seen a few people there with their headsets on, people will wonder what you're doing, like a Zen yoga moment, but we're going to do some breathing activities. So I would just ask you to be comfortable in a seat. I'm going to pull up a chair and join you as well. So one of the parts of the breathing exercises we do actually has a double benefit. So we're going to focus on how we use breath work to help calm and ground you for nerves. We actually also look as part of this about how do you use breath work to protect your voice, because as a trainer you'll do loads of speaking, and it's one of the most powerful tools that you have in your toolkit, so we can't afford for us to be losing our voice. So we'll look at breath work and how we use that well to protect our voice, but today we're just going to think about breathing. So what I want you to do is sit, feet flat on the floor ideally. I think somebody's driving, so you keep your feet on your accelerator and covering your brake, and you can practice this once you get home. And all we're going to do is we're going to take our hands and we're going to span them from sort of the top of our rib cage down to the bottom. And we're just going to practice a little bit of breath work, because generally we breathe really poorly. I know we've got lots of sport people on this call, so you've probably done a wee bit of this and be really tuned into this. We tend to shallow breathe. What I want you to think about just now is breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, so that you can actually feel that diaphragm expanding underneath your fingertips. So let's just try a few of those. In through our nose, we're gonna. One. Where you're sitting, just think, where are my shoulders? Where's my tongue? It's on the top of my mouth. Can I drop it and relax? So we're going to do now what becomes sometimes called box breathing or square breathing. If you're a really visual person, you might want to find something around you, near you, that's in the shape of a square. Sometimes people like to close their eyes. So whatever makes you comfortable. I'll do it as a guided breathing activity, and I'll draw out the square with my hand as well. And what we're going to do is we're concentrating as we climb the square. We're going to breathe in for 4, in through our noses. We're going to hold for 4 as we draw the top of the square. We're going to nice powerful exhale through our mouth for 4, and then we're going to hold. So we're going to try that all together. Are we ready? So nice and comfortably, good posture. Let's breathing in for 4. Let's go. Hold. Hold. In. Now, calm and grounded. We'll explore that in more detail within the course. We did have a person who joined us in a course a good few months ago now who came to me and said they were exceptionally nervous. And when we spoke, we do a lot of one-to-one support as well as the class work. What we decided was to make the energizer some box breathing and other breathing techniques right at the top of the session. So before that trainer even went to start her own session, she brought herself right down and felt calm and felt ready to start the training, which is what we're all about. So hopefully that's calmed you all down. Thank you so much for taking part.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks very much. So, so time is coming to the end. So I think we'll open it up for any questions before we share some offers we have.
You can unmute yourself or use the chat. Any questions on any of what you've seen so far, or anything else?
Just for me, my takeaway today is the purpose of the training, and not to start with, this presentation type thing, but to engage with people. That's my golden nugget. Why are you here? Yeah, the reason I'm here today is I want to present better. I'm involved with BNI, excuse me, and I am in a kind of a leadership team with that. And with BNI, we bring the people in the room and we present, in a pre-launch situation we present to them. But it would be very interesting just to shift that about a wee bit. And yeah, that's a wee golden nugget. And it just hones everybody's attention to why they actually got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get there, you know.
Perfect. Thanks, Angela. Thank you.
We've got a question from Helen in the chat. Is the 3-day course face-to-face?
So the ones in May are, yes, they're face-to-face. But we are going to have probably an online one. We used to do online all the time in COVID, and then face-to-face became much more popular. However, we have had a few inquiries for online, so we will have some dates coming up for online as well. The online would be 9:30 to 2:30 because it's a bit too much to be online for a whole day. So there is, yeah. Thanks, Helen.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Observations? Any feedback? Davey's asking, are qualifications tied to employer or the individual?
It's the individual that receives the certificate, yeah.
Pamela's been great to refresh, thank you.
You're welcome, Pamela, thanks for coming.
I would just like to say thank you very much. Although I think this sounds really like I'm blowing my own trumpet here, although I think I'm a good person at delivering training, it's great to be able to see different ideas. And one of the biggest things probably that I'll take away is that although I break up my sessions, is actually breaking it up much smaller sessions. So like being aware of that 22 minutes focus. So being able to do that. I really enjoyed the breakaway session because it was really nice to see what other people's thoughts of an ideal trainer was. I thought that was really interesting. But I really enjoyed the session and I will definitely be interested in doing the full course. But thank you very much for delivering this. It's been really helpful.
Super, thanks Nicola, thank you.
It's interesting, Nicola, it's one of the things that I used to feel a fraud standing up and saying that I'm training you for 3 days, because day 3 I don't train, we watch and observe, but actually you learn so much from each other about all the great practice and all the different great strategies and skills that you see. So no, it's a great point. You do go away with a really full toolkit.
Daniel's asking, I'm sorry, I was not aware this was a 3-day course. Where can I find more information on this?
Should we send some out after this course? Yeah.
Perfect.
So
I'll put up the other slide on it.
Yeah.
Great. So we do have some spaces available. So we thought we'd make it nice and easy today. If you're keen to kind of get the link so that you can then go and either, for those of you who need to go and ask, or for those of you who want to just get signed up if you follow the QR code. But I think, Jamie, you've also got a link of everyone's contacts. So Jamie will be able to be in touch and follow up with all of that. So I think there's a couple of spaces left for May.
Yeah, so we've got 12th, the 13th and the 20th of May, and then the next course is the 18th, 19th and the 26th of May. So there's 2 courses in May, and we've got an offer of £200 off for those courses.
One more question here from Omar says, what's the best approach for long training courses?
Yeah, that's a good one. I think something that Nicola touched on there, Omar, I think it's about that breaking that up. So when we look at the design phase, you deliver a 30-minute session with us. However, we focus a lot on how we would ask the room. So what are you delivering? We have people that come who deliver 3-day, 5-day, longer courses. But that design process takes you from how do you build a half an hour to make a really rich 1 hour that then turns into a really rich 2.5-hour morning session. And it is all about that planning and that splitting up of the content and then matching the key teaching moments with a really interesting range of methods to make sure that not only is the learning building, Laura's spoken about attention, we also focus on retention. So how do we make sure that the learner's keeping it all in there? And we teach you tips and tricks for doing that, but also how those 5 days would build with a range of strategies to really reinforce that learning. Good question.
helps. Kerry's saying thanks for the session, reminding me of on the focus and human element of delivery, session delivery. And yeah, and Nicholas said quite like the comment on giving learners the silent time to absorb the content.
For anyone who works with younger people, that's one of my the most powerful tool that we explore. We do talk about sort of that behaviour management. We do a wee bit of a get to know you at the beginning, where we would be gathering what are some of your challenges that you currently have in training. And as Laura was saying, it's our job over those 3 days, that regardless of what is in our course, to make sure that we really hit them. And often those comments are around engagement, but they're also around participation management. And that can be just getting people interested, but it also can be managing behaviours that could be challenging. So yeah, we'd cover all that off as well.
Okay, brilliant. So listen, thank you so much for coming along to our very first masterclass. Really, really nice to see you all. We had fun, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, we
did.
did.
It was good. Nice way to start the day.
And if you are, we'll reach out to you if you're interested in coming on one of the May courses. And this will be probably the first of quite a few masterclasses on different subjects. So if you're all right, we'll keep your details and get back to you with any other ones we've got as well.
Lovely to see you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, see you after.
Thanks,
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. So Nicola.